This wasn't a pop quiz, man.
Just wanted to ask you about he's not the honorable and what he's doing with salary this year going into hospital back home.
I mean, I heard about it right before the game, and when you process it all, it's like, what a sacrifice, to take your salary and just give it to people so that they can have a better life, better health, a better future. And those people may never even know where that money came from. You just think about his heart, what he's done, and it reminds me of other players that I've heard from Africa that have done that, where they build not just homes, but hospitals and schools so that other people can have a better life. I just thought it was an amazing gesture, and just says a lot about who Biz is.
I know that we talked a lot about, especially with this team's talent level and all of that, but we can have some high-quality guys and looking at the how much does that mean to you as a coach to be able to look at your roster and see that?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I'm always blown away at is when the flight attendants on the plane will come back to where I'm sitting and they'll say, "Coach, I just want you to know your guys are some of the nicest guys we run into, and we really appreciate it." That's like the moment that you realize you have a team full of good guys in a somewhat random setting where there's no cameras, no cell phones or platforms. The people that work on the plane take time out to come tell you, like, you got a good group. That's when you know you have good guys on your team. I knew it, but that's the evidence. For sure.
Monty, did your thoughts on the game change last night in any way after watching it back?
No, it was one of those games where, we saw this high level of attention to detail, and we played, a good brand of basketball. Last night, it just wasn't as consistent. And I don't think we ever have like terrible bad games. It was just the attention to the rebounding and then some of the turnovers. When you look at the film, there were times where there were guys on the floor that hadn't been with us in a while, and they didn't necessarily know what to do when this coverage happened or that coverage happened. That's okay. It gives us a chance to grow, and that's what I felt. I thought today was a good chance for us to grow as a team and learn. With Torrey and Aaron being in certain situations with Devin, that's hard, and so we had to just coach them up a little bit on what to do when certain things happen.
Is it one of those where it's just like compounding factors you talked about last night, like turnovers, offense rebounding?
Yeah.
Has a huge game where you said
just a lot of things. A lot of things happened. First half, it was the rebounding. Second half, it was live ball, timely turnovers that put us in mud. And then I thought he hit tough shots all game. There were a few times where we just had our hand down when he was, in his mix, getting ready to shoot it. The one time we missed him on a double screen on the backside, but a lot of his shots were tough shots. He just had one of those nights.
When you look at LeBron, and he's clearly like he's just taking it to another level, which is crazy to think of him doing that. Just what you see that Jeff even take out last night's game.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. I'm blown away at the energy that he has at that age. And I mean, what do you say? The guy's scoring 50 points like twice in a week now or something like that. He scored 50, sat out one game, came back and scored 50 again. And the way he's doing it, he's shooting more threes now, and still getting out in transition, still making cuts to the basket. You still see the passing. What else do you say about LeBron James, man? We just got to stop him. That's what I'm thinking about right now. We got to try to figure out a way to stop him.
And when you look at when he's playing like that, you figure at some point other guys would feed off of that, and they may even. So this Lakers team, the record is misleading.
I hope they don't. I mean, they won last night, which is really hard to do in this league. I'm hopeful that it doesn't become contagious. And we can make it tough on him and everyone else. I mean, I don't get into the greatest of all time thing. I just don't like doing that. He's just one of the best I've ever seen, one of them. But who's the best, I don't know. But I really enjoy watching those guys, except when they're doing it against me or us. It's just a phenomenal basketball player.
I wanted to ask you about Dario. What have your conversations been with him like over the past couple of months, just kind of checking in where you can?
I mean, just normal stuff. Mostly checking on Carla. I've known he and Carla now for 4 years, I think. So I just try to check on him personally. I know it's hard to be out. I know what it's like to have an injury and want to be out there and play. So for me, I'm always mindful of the personal side of it and making sure they feel like they're a part of what we're doing.
When we asked JaVale about Dario kind of hanging around, being at the games, doing his rehab here, he said he had an injury earlier in his career where he wasn't with the team, and he realizes in hindsight how important that is for guys to hang around. Can you speak to like the example Dario sets when he's going through his rehab here, being here for games, things like that?
I mean, I would imagine it brings a level of camaraderie to the team that's a bit different. Dario's in a support role now, so I'm sure that helps, especially when guys come out of the game or guys not playing. They can turn to Dario and just have a conversation about anything else but basketball. And then somewhere along the line, they may start talking about, the system or what we do, and Dario can be a help there. But he's just a good guy. I mean, anytime you have Darios on your team, they're going to be an asset and not a detriment. I can't because it's not official yet, so I can't even hit that. But as soon as it becomes official, I'll say something.
There's things that people always stress about stopping LeBron, but there's guys that play off him, like we were talking about Malik Monk, and how dangerous streaky he gets. What do you think of how they get him, pushing him away and make sure he doesn't get those shots where he's comfortable?
Yeah, I think you have to have great respect for the team. Even though LeBron is doing what he's doing, you have to have respect for Monk and Reeves. Those guys play hard. Stanley Johnson's, trying to resurrect his career. And Russ is a Hall of Fame basketball player, man. He's MVP, triple, double threat. Like, you have to have respect for their team and their coaching staff that's won a championship. That's the way I look at it. I don't get caught up in I hear all the stuff that's been said, but I know what they've done. And that forces you to have a great deal of respect for their organization and team.
You played in a big market before in New York when we were players, so obviously there's going to be more emphasis on those types of failures and such. But do you feel like being in Phoenix, that you kind of, you said a couple weeks ago, like you're fighting for respect? Or do you feel like being in Phoenix, like you don't have as much pressure as say a place like LA or New York?
It's hard to say. I mean, I was in New York in a different capacity. I was 22 years old, and I didn't know what a market was. I thought you went and got fruit at the market. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I think now with what we've done, it has raised the expectations. And I think when you have a record like ours and you're playing for what we're playing for, it doesn't matter where you're playing. Every game is a big deal. I watch TV just like you guys. I see our players on TV more on NBA marketing deals. I see at times, people talking about us differently. And so we may not be in a big market, but I think the expectations for me are I think that's better than being in a big market. I'd rather have expectations than be in a place like Phoenix than be in a big market and not have expectations. So I'm okay with where we are. I love the city of Phoenix. Doesn't bother me either way. I like where we are.
It seems like every week, every other game, the Lakers are on TV. And now, of course, the Sims is doing well. You're on TV a lot more, but the Lakers have been getting even mini series on HBO. I mean, there's always
that stuff. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. You can't control any of that stuff. You know what I mean? The only thing that I can control is my preparation and, serving our guys and trying my best to put them in that stuff doesn't bother me. I've been around too long to know like winning is the ultimate icing on the cake. I'd rather win than anything else. I don't want to win at all costs because I don't want to hurt people and win. But ultimately, that's what you want to do is win. I don't care if no one ever writes about us again. If we win the title and no one writes an article, I'll be fine. I'll go to my dock, try to catch that big bass that's sitting right next to my dock. It wouldn't bother me one bit. Call me strange, but I'm just telling you the truth.
I just want to follow that up. On the flip side of that, the guys take the reason so personal. It's part of that because of the expectation.
I think so. I think we have a team full of guys who are highly remorseful after a loss. And there's a competitive nature in our gym that's, I wouldn't trade it for anything. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather have that than all that other stuff. It just doesn't, I'm not wired that way. I just want to win. And that's just how I'm wired. Yeah, thank you. Yep.